Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Yesterday, Frontier released a patch onto the servers, updating various things within the game. One of the most significant things and the most anticipated things, of course, was the changes made to the engineers and the blueprints. Like many other people, I'd put all my upgrades on hold awaiting this particular change because previously it took a significant amount of time to actually get anywhere with any of the blueprints, at least I found so. So I've just dropped off my T9 and picked up the Aspia, and I'm going to try and get the components needed for some grade 4 FSD upgrades. Now I haven't got grade 5 unlocked with Felicity yet, but grade 4 will have to do. And the things I needed first was some wake scans. In particular, some eccentric hyperspace trajectories, and they previously were quite difficult to find, but now they've got much better. All of the higher tier datas and materials now drop or appear at a much increased rate. And in addition to that, previously where you'd only get a single data point or a single material every time you collected something, you now get 3 instead. So when I do a scan here and get the eccentric hyperspace trajectory, I get 3 instead of 1, and this means that they actually mount up quite quickly. Now some people may feel that this is a little bit too quick, but the thing is, many players have multiple ships within the game, so it's not a single ship we want to upgrade, it's in fact many different ships we want to upgrade, and so we have to do this many times over for all the different modules we want to actually upgrade. And on top of that, we've still got the RNG to contend with on the roles with the engineers themselves. So now that these data points can actually be picked up with increased frequency, it means that we can actually do more roles with less time spent actually searching for materials. And that means, well, it just makes things a bit more fun. I spent about half hour here, and you can see I went from 0 eccentric scans to 21, and also found quite a few other things as well, including data mine scans. The other thing I needed were chemical distilleries. Now these have always been very difficult to find. I even found the lesser chemical processors quite difficult to find. These can be found in the new signal sources that have been added into the patch. These are called Combat Aftermath, and they usually contain shipwrecks like transport ships, which are usually the things that drop the chemical processors and the chemical distilleries. However, after spending around about 40 minutes trying to look for some, I didn't have much luck. I may have been looking in the wrong place, but if you do want to try that out, they are in the shipping lanes, and they are heading from nav beacons towards planetary bases or space stations. You'll know if you're in a shipping lane because the bottom left hand of your HUD will actually tell you so. But I gave up on that, come to a nav beacon in an Anarchy system, and destroyed a load of Lacon type ships here. Any of you that played previously will know that chemical distilleries are quite difficult to find. Even chemical processors were quite often difficult to find, but that has all changed now. They drop at a much higher rate, and of course, just like with the data, when you pick up a single chemical distillery or any other material, you actually get 3 of them instead of just 1, and this really does make a massive difference. Of course, there still is a problem with storage within the game, or lack of storage should I say, and that's for commodities and things like that you often pick up in missions. Unlike materials which go into your magic pockets, the commodities go into your ship's cargo hold, and they make you a bit of a target for pirates, and also mean that you can't actually transfer to another ship that doesn't have a cargo bay. So with that in mind, people have long been asking for storage. Unfortunately, as of yesterday, Frontier confirmed on the Elite Dangerous forums that whether or not we get storage is very much an unknown at the moment. Apparently there's as many arguments against it as there are for it. So, well, I don't know what all those arguments are, to be honest, but for whatever reason why Frontier are unsure whether or not to put storage in the game, maybe there could be an alternative. Perhaps simply dropping commodities off at engineers in advance would simply help, a form of advance payment for modules that we want to craft or upgrade at a later date. I'm sure there's many other alternatives, and the thing is, people are clamouring now for this feature within the game, and to be honest, it really does need something. So with the chemical distilleries found, it was time to head off to get the needed commodities. Those can be found in the system 40 SETI, quite easy to get hold of, and once I've got them, I brought the ASP here to get its first drive upgrade. Now currently it's got a jump range of 30.8 light years, which isn't that much, but it does have a planetary hangar in it, which limits things quite a bit. So here we go. This is the first grade 4 FSD upgrade. Eventually I do unlock grade 5, but I haven't got the components for that just yet. But let's see what effect this has. You can see the optimized mass, which is the thing that we really want to get right near the top, hasn't hit particularly high, and some of the other values are also quite low. So this is pretty much an average upgrade, not that brilliant, but certainly better than what we had by default. Let's have a look. We'll apply this and see what it gives me. Remember, I had 30.8 light years, and you can see now I've got quite significantly more. 38.6 in fact. Now I do want to mess with that. I do have another asp that I usually use, so I headed off to pick that one up and returned to here with my other asp, and this one has already got some upgrades on it already. And you can see the jump range on this is 31.4 light years. Now the beauty of getting all the extra materials now at a faster rate and an increased amount of them means that we can just keep on rolling. And for me, that turns the engineers here from something of a frustration into something that could be quite enjoyable. It's nice to see what sort of results we're going to get without worrying too much that we've wasted hours collecting the particular bits of material needed. So I did do quite a few rolls on this one. This was the first. I did a few more after that to try and get the best possible outcome that I could actually achieve. So this one was actually a bit worse than I had on the previous asp. Not quite as good, which means obviously it's going to be significantly less than the 38 light years I had on that. And if we have a quick look after applying that, we can see that the outcome was 36 light years. Now I know with an asp you can get a lot more than that, even with a grade 4 FSD upgrade. And you can see I've now got grade 5 unlocked. This will be something I'll have a look at in the future though. For now we're going to concentrate on grade 4. And I had to mess about with these quite a few times before I actually got the result that I wanted. But like I say, I had plenty of material to actually go ahead and do this. Now not all the sliders there come out as their best result, but it's pretty much looking like it's the best I'm actually going to get without too much more messing around, and I'm more than happy to actually accept this. Now when it comes to stats in games, I've never been one that's actually demanded the absolute best. That after all should be reserved to the people that have the time, patience and ability to put everything into the game. There should be something perhaps a bit more for them. But here I've got over 41 light years, and for me that is more than what I would want on an asp. But I did come back here with my type 9. You can see there it's got a relatively low jump range with just 17 light years. Got quite a few more rolls left, so I thought why not see what I could get here. I'd like quite a nice improvement on that. The type 9 is a great transport ship. I'll use it for long hauling. There can be quite a lot of money made on long hauls, but always is the low jump range it has. That's always a problem. But here we got the opportunity to change that all around. I did about 6 rolls here. It might have even been as many as 8, I forget now. But you can see ultimately that had quite a good effect, giving me a total of 24 light years. So you can see that these are brilliant changes in my mind to materials are actually apply right across the board to all the upgrades, and they're going to make it that much more easier and hopefully that much more enjoyable. Now we didn't get to look at the SRV and the materials on planetary surfaces in this video, but you can see there is a nice little change here. If you actually come to the system map and you've scanned a planet, you can see that that planet actually has the data down on the bottom left info panel. And what that tells you is the types of material that can be found on that planet, along with the percentage chance of finding it, or the percentage makeup rather, that it's on that particular planet. And keep in mind, for every material you actually pick up on the planet, it will add 3 into your inventory rather than 1, so a nice change overall. Personally, I'm very happy with this patch. It removes much of the frustration that was there previously. However, there's still a lot that could be said about the gameplay itself, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement in regards to that. And I'd like to see some more layers of challenging and interesting gameplay introduced. And of course, for me, those types of gameplay elements would need to be ones that aren't merely time sinks or grind based, but instead rely on skill or intelligence, or at the very least require a good level of interaction. But for now, I think these are some great changes. Let me know in the comments below what you think of them. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.